Hello.
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Glad to
We'll
hear.
just, yeah, we'll just wait a couple of minutes until some other folks join.
Sounds good.
Hey there, Kai. Just gonna give it one more minute until some other folks join, and then I'll start.
Good morning.
Okay, I am going to begin so that we are on track with time. How are both of you doing today?
Doing pretty good. I managed to show up. I've been late or not attended the last couple of weeks, and I felt so bad for myself. Like, why did I miss this?
All good, all good. How's it going with you, Kai?
Doing well. I got to see
Good.
the moon last night, and
It
that
was
was pretty
gorgeous. I
exciting.
got to see it too. It was massive where I
Yeah.
am. So it was Leo, welcome, sir. How are you doing today?
Yeah, doing good, doing good.
Uh, excellent, excellent. Thanks for joining. All right, all of you fabulous people. We have got some cool things going on for what is week 12 in our LinkedIn journey, believe it or not. We are going to talk about optimizing. Oh, we got another one. Hold on just a second. Let me let Lisa in. Oop, where'd she go? She's gone. There you are. Hey, Lisa, how's it going? I'll take that as good. All right. So week 12 LinkedIn lesson plan, we are going to be talking about optimizing for recruiter searches. So, still moving and staying and evolving in that area for making your profile visible, but making sure that your LinkedIn profile is structured with the key words that recruiters use to run their searches. Because what we have learned over the past 12 weeks is that recruiters use LinkedIn as a search tool. I am actually doing that right now with my freelance job. So it's really does lie, this lesson lies within the broader 12-week LinkedIn strategy, right? So week 1 to 2, we built a professional and complete profile. You learned in weeks 3 to 4 uh, to tell your story through your summary, your skills, your projects. Week 5, we focused on customizing your URL and settings to make your profile easier to find. Weeks 6 through 7, we grew your network and learned how to maintain authentic connections. Week 8, we crafted outweek messages that built trust and open doors. And then week 10, engaging publicly, posting, commenting, using hashtags. The following week, week 11, you learned to use job alerts and filtered strategically. So now you know how to show up and who to connect with. This week is about how recruiters find you. Okay. So, really, this is search engine optimization, right? So, we've got some key talking points to run through and really talk about why this matters. Recruiters search LinkedIn the same way that you search Google using keywords. So, the right keywords increase your chances of appearing in LinkedIn recruiter searches. The wrong or missing keywords make your profile virtually invisible. So even if you're highly qualified, recruiters are not going to see your profile if the key words are not located in your profile. So, fun fact, according to LinkedIn, 90% of recruiters use keyword filters to find candidates. So, candidates with keyword optimized profiles receive 2 to 3 times more views from recruiters. So, the goal is that you want your profile to match recruiter search terms, rank high in those search results, but also attract more recruiter messages and interview opportunities. Questions, thoughts, comments? No?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So as like a recruiter, like you say you use LinkedIn as like a search engine. Is that
Yeah.
like, I mean, as somebody looking for a job, like we put like the job title in, is that similar to how like the recruiters do it? They put like the job title of what they're trying to look to fill and then sort by
Yes.
people instead of like job
Yes.
listings.
Yes. Yes. And I am going to, as we get a little bit further into this course lesson, I'm going to show you a search that I've been running since this morning. So I landed a freelance job and it's very different from the type of recruiting that I've done in the past. And they have me running searches on one role that I am looking for, I believe in your area, Hope. actually. North Carolina. That's where you are, correct? Yeah. So it is in your
South
neck of the
Carolina.
woods. You're in South Carolina. Okay. This is in North Carolina, actually, in Raleigh. But I will show you a little bit of how I've been sourcing for that. Yes, Lisa.
Well, first, good morning,
Good
and
morning.
good to see you.
Yes, you as well.
You can see me.
I cannot, but that's okay.
Like, something's going on with my Zoom. Um, the what I wanted to ask you if this was a good tactic. I get I don't know how. I'm not trying to be offensive, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. So sometimes I get things for just folks that are from the Middle East or Indian, and it says you're hiring. And I started responding to them.
Okay. You're brave.
Um,
A lot of the time, I find them to be fraudulent
is that
reach outs, but
you said it's fraudulent?
some, yeah. I have just like, some of the call center text calls that you've received. Sometimes you have to sift through them. So oftentimes I have had folks, my husband's a designer. He gets a lot of those messages as well. Sometimes they're legit, sometimes they're not. So, I mean, and that obviously can be with any um industry, but I have found it to be very prevalent since COVID.
Okay. I just you're the expert, so I'm going to rely on
Well, what
um
have you found since you've been corresponding with them?
I'm actually getting more requests for IT positions that are in my field, such as QA, because I listened and I applied some of the a lot of the suggestions you provided, and it's actually I fixed my profile on LinkedIn. I
Oh,
fixed
great.
the Indeed.
Fantastic.
Indeed, I just went to each one of them and I'm starting getting more in line with what I used to do, which is quality assurance or
Mm,
software testing, and I'm trying in more programming positions. So I'm truly looking at those positions and applying to them.
great.
The second interview, I'm starting like I finally got that interview and I got that second interview, but I didn't get the third. And I did follow up and I showed you my thank you
Yes.
letter, I think. And I've been told it's an excellent thank you letter, but I got ghosted. So I don't, I'm back on the drawing board. So, uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
It
you're,
has happened to me several more than I can count over the past year or so. So don't be discouraged. It's not you. It's the, whatever process that the recruiter is going through. Oftentimes they may find talent that they think is perfect for the role, and perhaps hiring managers have said we like this particular candidate, and oftentimes recruiters will zero in on that, and no one likes to let people know bad news, right? No one likes to deliver that news. As a recruiter, I get on the phone and I will deliver that news as in person as I possibly can. So on the phone or through Teams, Zoom, Slack, whatever video platform that I'm utilizing at the time. But I always close the loop. Unfortunately, a lot of other recruiters do not, whether it's just their style or they're working with a very heavy workload and do not have the time. I'm not trying to make excuses for them, but just to let you know that it's not you.
well, thank
So
you. I appreciate it. You have been, great at responding. So I just want to thank you also because your advice has been some successful barriers that have been broken. So thank you.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I think that approach every email that you receive, all of you, with curiosity and research, a mind of a researcher. Oftentimes, you non-US companies will come to folks in the US. And now I am seeing and hearing of a lot of people, even in my own industry as a recruiter, getting emails from folks from other countries who are looking for assistance. They have heard about how a lot of people are out of work right now and looking for work. So that is good news as far as I'm concerned, that a net is being casted from non-US countries to US residents. And if their companies are set up to work with foreign nationals of their native country of origin, I think that's amazing. Get all of us working. And you know what? The time difference might work, and it might work for some of you, and then you can get that on the job experience to sort of wait this period out and keep applying and keep interviewing, right? But just, proceed with a curious and a researcher's mind. That's what I would say. Research the company, find the individuals on LinkedIn. Just, do they look legit? I think that we've covered what LinkedIn profiles should look like and be structured enough for you to be able to suss out if it is a fake profile or not. And it happens. Fake profiles do occur. And I experienced it a couple of years ago myself at IPG Health, a healthcare agency, healthcare advertising agency. I don't know if I told all of you or how many of you heard, but we had situations, a few of them, where there were fake recruiter profiles set up by AI generated photos in the profile pic that stated this person or people worked at IPG Health within human resources, essentially found individuals, hired them, sent them onboarding materials, their 1099 or I-9, their W-4, had them fill everything out so they got all of their personal information, and then had them send a copy of their credit card information so that they could send equipment to them. Companies, by the way, if you join a company and they are sending you equipment, the expectation is never for you to pay out of pocket for that equipment. That is equipment, if you are employed by that company, that they are obligated to send you. So just make sure that you understand that. And I think that, there are moments in our lives when we are very eager to identify employment. Just be scrutinizing, be cautious, because this ended up having to go to the Department of Homeland Security. 5 people were scammed. The company is a huge publicly traded organization, so they certainly had the financial backing to do this investigating, but the 5 individuals still had their identity compromised. They still had to go through all of these things. And if you ever had your identity compromised, I have, it's not fun. And it's years and years of fixing So thank you actually for bringing this up, Lisa, because you do have to scrutinize nowadays,
Okay.
especially with AI and all this technology.
Yeah, I did have one of those companies that you mentioned actually approached me last year. I thought I had a job with a company called TSG. The company didn't even know they had duplicated their company name and everything.
Yeah, their
And
logo, they can do everything. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And they go so far as posting fake job descriptions under that company logo. So these things do happen.
yeah, I even had an interview. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get back to understanding LinkedIn um, CEO. So again, the core concept is search engine optimization. And on LinkedIn, this means using the exact keywords that recruiters type when searching for talent. Okay. Key fields that impact the LinkedIn search engine optimization. We have run through this before because we've set up our LinkedIn profile. So our headline, right, weighted heavily by LinkedIn's algorithm. That's why I recommend not just putting your name and underneath your name for the headline, full stack developer. Great. You'll come up in full stack developer searches. And it's great that you have that in your headline. But putting even more, you know, 2 or 3 more keywords in your headline is optimal for that maximum visibility. Your about section, needs to be scanned for relevant skills and job titles, and recruiters will do that. The experience section, job titles, and then remember those skills that we added in there. Those are searchable. And then, of course, project descriptions are indexed. The skills section. So whenever you put skills in your experience section, it's also listed more at the bottom where it lists all your skills together. Top 50 skills are searchable and contribute to recruiter search ranking. Your recommendations, believe it or not, as well. Keywords in recommendations also count. Engagement. Posts and comments that include relevant terms improve visibility. Pretty cool. And we talked about that a week or so ago about posts and your comments and how that increases not just your visibility with the person that you may be sharing their post and then or what you're saying or commenting in that post. It all is cumulative, every single thing that we've been talking about over the past 12 weeks. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Good. All right. Thumbs up from Key. All right. So, how do recruiters search? So, putting this up on my top screen. So, it's going to look like I'm not looking at you guys. So, recruiters enter Boolean searches. Remember, we talked about that last week. Okay. Some of you were here, may have not been here. So I am going to just plug in the chat. Hopefully everyone can see it. Key, you got my back. For some reason, someone can't see it. If you would mind reposting, that would be great. So, recruiters enter Boolean searches, and here is a quick example. Like, this is what we're looking for. And why are there quotes there? Because we want the result to reveal those specific keywords, right? So they filter oftentimes by location, industry, experience level, and keywords. So profiles are ranked by keyword relevance and engagement. Is this the one that I put in there? All right, here's another one that I came up with. And this is a recruiter search string for a coding role that I've done in the past myself. So these are the types of searches the type of Boolean searches that we would plug into the LinkedIn browser. Just to get it's just so that you all get an idea of how these Boolean searches are structured and then why they matter. You can see that. So recruiters don't scroll LinkedIn aimlessly. I have in many instances, and I do now, just go to LinkedIn, plug in a bunch of like some keywords or a Boolean search, and then I'll like just filter through all the pages. It's laborious for sure, but I do like looking for that needle in the haystack and having a little bit more control of my searches. But we also use an extension of LinkedIn called LinkedIn Recruiter, and that is a paid search tool that allows recruiters to find candidates based on keywords and filters that um, that LinkedIn allows you to plug in. So they come up with all of these different filters and they have these drop downs. And I'll show you what I'm talking about in a real search that I'm doing right now in just a moment. But so for example, the last Boolean search that I just put in the chat, right? This search tells LinkedIn, find me developers who know React, Node.js, or JavaScript and have experience with APIs, PostgreSQL, or AWS. That's what this is saying. Now, LinkedIn matches the words in recruiter searches to words in all of your profiles. So if you use different terms or omit keywords, you won't appear in their search results. That is called mirroring. And this is why it matters. You must use the same words recruiters use, not just words you prefer. Well, how do I know what words recruiter uses? They use these professional terms just like you do. Same exact way. Okay. So a side-by-side sort of example, right? So full stack developer. The headline, in the headline somewhere, it should read full stack developer. In the about section, say the recruiter is searching for a software engineer. The about section should say something like, as a software engineer, I build and deploy web applications using React, Node.js, and PostgreSQL. I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly, so don't laugh at me. Oh, Key, I see you smiling. I see you laughing. Are you laughing?
I'm not
What's the
laughing.
real way?
I just love how every time you're like, don't laugh at me. You just make me smile every time.
Well, listen, you guys, if I'm not saying something correctly, please correct me. Please, please, please. And also, so for recruiter search keywords for React or Node.js or JavaScript, in the skills section, you need to have React, Node.js, and JavaScript. It's got to be there, must be there. Keyword searches for API, PostgreSQL, or AWS in the experience section somewhere where you worked. There must be developed RESTful APIs using Node, JS and PostGRE SQL deployed to AWS for scalability. Like it's gotta be there. Okay. Questions, thoughts, concerns. Okay. So before we walk through any other anything else, let me share my screen because I want to show you what I'm actively working on right now. And this is an example of LinkedIn Recruiter. Okay. Here, can everyone see my screen? Yep. Okay. LinkedIn Recruiter. So I am looking for an outside sales rep in Raleigh, North Carolina. And this is for a company called Renewity Home. They are a one of the largest, I would say, home improvement networks in the country. Okay. And they're the fourth largest provider in the US with multiple industry leading brands under their umbrella. So they've got something called Home Org, and then they do something called Closet America, which focuses on closet design and garage lining and design. And I am looking for someone who is an outside salesperson working on both. Um, it would be nice if they had some sort of construction experience, even better if they had some sort of home decor or interior design experience, perhaps. So I went to LinkedIn Recruiter and let me see. I created my talent pool and I'm hoping that I can pull this up and I can. Let's see. Sorry, my computer is a little bit slow. So if you can see here, there are custom filters and hopefully, so this is what I plugged in with my custom filters, right? Outside sales representative, field representative, contract sales representative, outside sales account executive, outside sales development manager, in home sales. This was the area that I was working. And I like to cast a wide net. So now that I've gone through a bunch of these and uh, moved these people over into my project where I will email these folks and continue to evaluate. Maybe I'll even drill down a little bit more and put in some skills and assessments. But this is kind of like the brain, the reasoning behind what I'm talking to you about to give you a little bit of that idea. So I will stop sharing. All right. No, headline. All right. So here is a couple of optimization practices that I think we've kind of run through before when we were setting all of this up in our LinkedIn, right? So before we optimized some of our headlines, maybe we had something like passionate developer, problem solver, creative thinker. Okay. Our about section. I enjoy learning new technology and building cool projects. I love collaborating with others and continuously improving my skills. Okay. Skills, teamwork, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay. Now, after the optimization, after we maybe mirrored our recruiter search, And now, just so you know, I interviewed or I did one-on-one sessions. Let me see. Yeah, with all of you. So all of you know what that experience was like. This before optimization example was actually taken not from one of your resumes, but another student that I edited. And so this is what I came up with. Headline: full stack developer, JavaScript, React, Node.js, API integration. The about section after I edited it. I'm a full stack developer specializing in React and Node.js with experience building REST APIs, integrating PostgreSQL databases, and deploying applications on AWS. I'm passionate about clean code, scalable systems, and collaboration in agile environments. Better. That about statement will be picked up in keyword searches by recruiters who are searching, right? Skills: React, Node.js, JavaScript, PostgreSQL, API development, and AWS. The headline matches recruiter search titles. The about section repeats and contextualizes keywords. And the about section supports the same language, right? So how to mirror recruitment teams? So analyze target job postings, okay? So when you're looking and you find a job that you want to apply to, highlight repeating terms: React, Agile, API integration, AWS. Note job title variations, because there are, right? Software engineer, full stack developer, front end engineer. Embed those keywords across your profile and your resume, by the way. So the headline: use your target title and top 3 skills. In your about section, use phrases that recruiters type. We've learned what those are. Tie each project or task to one or more target keywords. I'll say that one again. Tie each project or task to one or more target keywords. Add every hard skill listed in multiple job postings. So again, 3 to 5 postings of your dream role. If you've got time today or this week or this weekend and you're focused on your job hunt, take a look at some of those job postings. Print them out if you can, or if you can't, pull them all up and size them so that you can actually review all of them and highlight the keywords that you're seeing. Make sure those are on your LinkedIn profile and your resume. Match variations. Use multiple forms of the same concept. API and REST API, React.js and React, AWS and Amazon Web Services, SQL and PostgreSQL. Avoid keyword stuffing. right? So yes, you want to get those keywords in there, but don't cram a list of terms without context. Always use keywords in real sentences that show how you apply the skill. So here's an example of a weak, this is a weak example, and like cramming. Ah, PostgreSQL. Is that how you say it? Okay, cool. Learned something today. So a weak one. React, Node.js, PostgreSQL, AWS, API, Agile. Okay, and but here is strong way of using that. Developed full stack applications using React and Node.js, managed PostgreSQL databases, and deployed to AWS using CI and CD pipelines. Context. And then applying keywords strategically. Identify what those keywords are. So again, review 3 to 5 job postings that you want. Write down recurring words, phrases, and then use LinkedIn's skills section to confirm trending keywords. And then integrate keywords naturally. So add these keywords into your headline. Weave in skills contextually into your about section. I specialize in building full stack applications using React, Node.js, and PostgreSQL, experienced in agile workflows and API development. Let's break it down and then shape it. Your experience section. Add technical achievements with keywords tied to outcomes. Built RESTful APIs with Node.js that reduce data load times by 40%. The skills section, add all relevant hard skills. Encourage, rearranging top 10 most important skills first. That's what I encourage you to do. Recruiters may search for different titles, so optimize your synonyms, right? I encourage you to use a few different ways of referring to what you are, who you are. Full stack developer, software engineer, web developer, React developer, front end engineer, UI developer. What resonates with you, and maybe use a few within LinkedIn. LinkedIn favors active profiles. That's another thing. So I encourage you to, again, post at least once a week using relevant keywords. I'm excited to finish my React app today. Comment on post using industry language. And then follow companies and hashtags that reflect target roles. Okay. So SEO turns your profile into a recruiter magnet. And keywords make you discoverable, visible. Visibility leads to interviews, which leads to offers. So again, and just like your GitHub, just like your portfolio, just like your resume, your LinkedIn profile is constantly evolving. You should be constantly looking at ways to optimize it and optimize the visibility. So update your headline, about, and skills with, I don't know, 10 to 15 relevant keywords. Maybe review what you have so far. Engage with 3 posts this week that align with your target tech field. And then save 5 job alerts that match your optimized keywords. We did all of that last week. And next week, we will be talking about how to build credibility through projects, portfolios, and endorsements. So we'll take it a little bit further. But you've built your LinkedIn foundation. Now it's time to make it work for you. So optimize for recruiter searches, or optimizing for recruiter searches can be the difference between being invisible and landing a 6-figure opportunity. Recruiters don't just look for talent, they search for the right words. And make sure your profile speaks their language. So I've left 10 minutes to talk and run through any concerns or questions that you might have. I believe, Key, you've got something coming up at 1, correct? Okay, so we've got to be punctual, guys. So what you got for me? Yes, Key.
Yeah, I have a question. So when you were showing the like recruiter tool,
Mhm.
you had like the matches at the top that had like, I don't know, like the I don't know, like I keep thinking of like inbox filters essentially, but like it had like people who were open to work versus, and one of the
Yep.
categories was interested in the company. And I was curious how much of an impact that has on like your recruiter search, and then how do you make, like, how would I make my profile say that it's interested in a company?
I believe that it's when you follow a company.
Okay.
So if you follow a company, your interest is going to pop up in recruiter searches.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
based on the individuals that this job title filter has produced. Yeah, that's what that was. Anyone else? No. Ten more minutes, gang. Is there anything that I went through today or in previous weeks that you would like to review or discuss?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So we're taking this course, this boot camp, and so mine is a career change.
Mhm.
So how would we move? You mentioned in the experience as far as keywords, like the JavaScript and the Node.js, which we've done on our projects. Do you just put that in the projects, or?
You list them in projects, you list it in your headline, you list it in skills. Yes, so if you are noting experience that you've had at a certain company or even a boot camp, and you want to list what you did at that company or in that boot camp, you can discuss a project. I recommend that is a project that is produced and that you can show an example of, should they
Okay.
ask. And then list what you did and include the technology that you use to execute it, whether it's, code or programming languages, database, whatever it was, and discuss your role and what you accomplished.
Okay. So these little projects that we're doing, the React Jam and the little projects, we can add those to
Oh,
our
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Resume and LinkedIn profile for sure. It's all searchable and it shows that you've worked on real work on real clients. And this is how and why Dr. Emily designed this program this way, because she identified that a lot of times graduating from these boot camps, you're going into junior roles. Well, why not provide a junior role here
Okay.
at TechJoy, where you are working on real projects, real work with real clients? Highlight that. That's critical. Shows that you are qualified to step into a role.
What I thought was really cool was there's some software development and test, which is actually a programming position, but it's
Mm,
actually just designing the testing part of it and automating.
okay.
I thought that was kind of cool, and it kind of really does fit into I'm taking my leap of faith again and saying, let me try this, see if I'm getting better responses, and it seems to be helping. So we'll work it.
Fantastic. All right, I'm getting some sort of alert that I have been signed out because my account has been signed in from another device. So let me bid all of you farewell. If any of you have any questions about today's session, feel free to join me at 6 p.m. I will likely not be doing these sessions at 12 noon anymore. So I think I'm going to end up doing them in the evening. So 6 p.m. Tuesday, likely 6 p.m. Thursday. I'm just waiting to hear from Dr. Emily on a confirmation with that. But again, if you've got any questions, feel free to join me this evening or ping me on Discord and I will circle back to you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, all of you.
Thank you.
Bye.